What's going on, y'all? Tech Me out here, and I'm currently in Cupertino, California at Apple's Keynote. Today alone, Apple released the Apple Watch Series 5, the iPad 7th Gen, the iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Tons of products in 2 hours. But what we're gonna do is condense that down to like maybe 10 minutes or so, and more specifically, we're gonna talk about that iPhone. So to me, the way you can kind of look at this, just to give you a quick overview, is like the iPhone 11 is the new iPhone XR, so to speak. And the iPhone 11 Pro is the new iPhone XS and iPhone XS Max. Just for quick reference as we're discussing these. So iPhone 11, let's talk about it. You got new color options. Purple, which is this like beautiful lavender, and it's actually my favorite out of all of them. Yellow, which is my second favorite, and it has this pop of color. It's not too bright like a yield sign, but it's, I guess, more like a canary yellow. You also have green, black, white, and red. Now, design-wise on the iPhone 11, there are a few differences. For one, you'll notice the Apple logo has shifted down towards the middle, which I personally like. I don't think it looks bad. I honestly didn't notice it that much at first glance. I had to actually go back and look again to really observe it and take notice that, hey, the Apple logo has kind of shifted downward. But yeah, not a problem for me. The cameras, that's gonna take some getting used to. They seem just more apparent, more obvious that they're there, but I like the reason in which they're there for, which we're gonna talk about. So you have two cameras along the back, both which are 12 megapixels. Then along the sides, you have your same traditional buttons, your volume, your power, and yes, still the lightning port. It's not USB-C. That's one thing that I so wish Apple did with this, because everything else is going over to USB-C, including their MacBook lineups. But I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole of that conversation piece. Now, the iPhone 11 is made from anodized aluminum, and it's gonna be a familiar feel and look in hand because of that. As for the display, we got that 6.1 liquid retina display, so pretty much the same thing that we have on the iPhone XR. However, something that is different, and I think that we can appreciate probably more when we're actually using it, is the fact that videos will have spatial audio, which is gonna basically create a sound field around you, and I guess give you this surround sound, soundbar type of effect from a phone to the best of its ability. So in short, better audio. Now let's move on to the back of the phone and dive a little bit deeper into what we were talking about earlier, which are those cameras. So both cameras are actually, all the cameras on the iPhone 11 are 12 megapixels. So you have a 12 megapixel wide camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and then along the front, you have a 12 megapixel front facing camera. And all of these cameras will shoot in 4K at 60 frames per second, which, if you don't know what that means, is basically going to give you the highest video quality to capture fast moving motion and be able to slow it down if you so choose. Like, I don't have to choose anymore. I don't have to, sacrifice knowing my framing to get the maximum video quality by using the rear facing camera, because now I have that same quality in the front facing camera. And on top of that, we now have the option to capture footage in slow motion using the front facing camera. So you can create what Apple is coining as slow selfies. Did I say slow-fies? Or maybe it's slow-fies. Either way, it's different. I would really like to see the creativity applied here in terms of how slow motion will be captured using a front-facing camera, because I think by default, we want to do something like wave our hand or, do something with our hair. But like, is this gonna be a gimmick or a true feature to have the option for slow motion on a front-facing camera? Like, I'm gonna be real, I've never used my front-facing camera and said, dang, I wish I could slow down whatever I'm capturing right now. On the rear-facing, yeah, I don't know. Let's talk. Sound off in the comment section and let me know what would be your slow feed. Now, I will say, when it comes to switching lenses on the rear-facing camera, it is so smooth. And I want to point this out because I've used other phones, including iPhones, and have switched from, the different lenses or the different views, and you notice this like slight jitter as it does so. But when testing it on the iPhone 11, I didn't see that, jump or jolt in the video that was being captured. So that's nice. And another handy feature that's really nice is how you can now record video while you're capturing an image. So when I'm taking a photo and I want to capture a video, I can just press and hold, and it'll go ahead and grab the video for that brief moment in which my finger is pressed on that button. But if I want to record for an extended amount of time, I can lock this particular function by sliding my finger to the right and then just hitting stop as I normally would when I'm done. Now, powering everything inside of this is the A13 Bionic chips, which Apple is coining as the fastest CPU ever in a smartphone. Now, when it comes to battery life, the iPhone does have 1 more hour of battery life than the iPhone XR, which is phenomenal because the iPhone XR, I think, had the best battery life, even better than the more expensive phones. When you make your needs list of what you need in a phone, if the battery is within that top 3, you might want to look at this one, especially considering the fact that it's going for $699. I'm not saying it's cheap, but it is the most affordable option if you want the latest and greatest from Apple in the iPhone 11 lineup. And speaking of that lineup, let's talk about that Pro. So we got 3 new phones. I was about to say the XR. We got the iPhone 11 and then the iPhone 11 Pro, which actually comes in 2 different variations. So you have the smaller size and the larger size. The smaller size coming in with a 5.8-inch display and the larger option having a 6.5-inch display. But in actually seeing these and holding these in hand, that little textured finish that they mentioned in the keynote, it's nice. It's really nice. It really made the phone feel less slippery in my hand. I feel like I had a better grip. And in terms of how it felt, it wasn't textured as in you feel like ridges, but it's more like a matte finish. But I will say with this type of finish, not only does it feel better and give you the better grip, but it also, I feel, will reduce fingerprints. Now the iPhone 11 came with some new color options, and so does the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. I always have to pause on the Pro Max because it just doesn't flow as well off the tongue. So in terms of color choices, you have midnight green, which I think is a fan favorite this year. It seems to be trending amongst everyone, like the rose gold or the gold variation of the iPhone lineup when it came out for the first time. Like that phone was limited stock, was never in stock. It was hard to find. I think the midnight green might be that in 2019. You also have the traditional space gray, silver, and a new variation of gold. Now in terms of the display here, of course, it will be better than the iPhone 11 because you have the Super Retina XDR display, which looks great. And it's really hard to say within the brief moment that I had with the phone what type of significant difference you'll notice. Now in terms of battery life here, you're gonna get 4 more hours than the iPhone XS Max and 5 more hours than the Pro. Now the button placement on the Pro and the Pro Max is the same as the iPhone 11. However, where it's different with the design is the cameras, because you have 3 up here instead of 2. And once again, all the cameras up here are 12 megapixels. So you have a wide angle lens, a telephoto lens, and an ultra wide lens. And looking at the sample images, we are in for a treat because I don't know, when I've used other phones that kind of give me these features, it seems like the edges become very distorted. Like I know this is gonna happen, especially when you're using a wide angle lens. It's just kind of natural and the thing that you have to sacrifice when you're doing so, but it just seemed less apparent. Maybe because of the sample images that they chose. I'm just excited to test it honestly, because I will say in using other phones that have that feature, I actually use that feature a lot. There are times where I need a wider shot, especially when I'm trying to get a landscape. And there are times where I need to get in tighter to my shot because I can't physically get closer. So there's some true advantages of having these 3 lenses instead of just 2. And just like the iPhone 11, you still have that 4K 60 frames per second on all the lenses and optical image stabilization as well. I'm not sure if I mentioned that for the iPhone 11, but yeah, you got that too. Now this really sold me on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And I don't know if it can or how it works on the iPhone 11 Pro because I didn't test it, but on the Pro Max with the Filmic Pro app, you now have the option to pretty much look at 4 different camera angles at once. And it's like, what? On a phone? Are you serious? And not only can you look at these 4 different camera angles and choose which one that you want for your shot, but you can also choose more than one at the same time, which is mind-blowing. There were some other updates and refreshes within the app as well, but that was one of the main things that just had me like, okay, this right here, let's talk. Now in terms of price, the Pro is going for $999 and the Pro Max is going for $1099. So no surprise here because that's typically what Apple charges for this range or line of phones. But I'm curious to know, was anyone out there expecting the iPhone 11 Pro? I felt like I had seen so many headlines for the iPhone 11, but not as many, if any, for the iPhone 11 Pro. Like, was this news to you all, or did you see Apple coming? But if you're looking to get either of these devices, pre-orders start Friday, September 13th at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So people on the East Coast, we no longer have to stay up till 3 a.m. in the morning anymore, y'all. Because all of my fellow tech enthusiasts out there, y'all know, we'll be on social media like a group and just tweeting our experience and what we got and what we couldn't get when that, 3 a.m. hits and everybody's just routed in onto apple.com. We even set alarms to ensure that we're up in case we drift off. I know me and my brother did, but the phones will be available in stores on September 20th. All right, so my thoughts. Which should you get? It's really hard to say without knowing your needs, honestly. I'll say if you want the latest generation, you're on a budget, you desire the best battery life possible, and you kind of want the median option when it comes to the displays, I would really look into the iPhone 11. If you're the type that has to have not only the latest and the greatest, but truly the best of that line, and you want the maximum options and versatility when it comes to capturing photos and videos, I would go with the iPhone Pro or the Pro Max. But for those that are curious, which phone am I getting? I have my eye on the iPhone 11 Pro Max in green. And if I didn't get that one and I went with the iPhone 11, it would be the iPhone 11 in that purple lavender color, lilac. I don't know, I just really like that color. It would be that one. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I really enjoyed myself at the Apple Keynote. Awesome opportunity and an awesome time. I'm looking forward to getting my own personal device so we can dive a little bit deeper. So definitely stay tuned for some more videos. If you aren't subscribed, feel free to take some time out now to do so. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button for your girl, because I greatly appreciate it. And we just hit 200K. I'm gonna be doing a video talking a little bit more about that. But yeah, until then, as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.